You know what's weird? A lot of people think they are choosing between a job and freedom. But sometimes the job feels like a cage, and self-employment feels like a cage with Wi-Fi. Welcome back to OK Life. This is a quiet place to think about work, money, psychology, and the strange little systems we live inside. If this kind of slow thinking helps you, like the video, subscribe, and comment what topic you want us to think about next. This video is best listened to while driving, working, or before sleep. So let's think about it slowly. What if the life we accept is just the one we never questioned? Are we choosing security, or just avoiding uncertainty? Are we chasing freedom, or just running away from structure? And maybe the biggest question is this: what if the trap is not the job, and not the business, but the identity we attach to either one? Most working adults know the rhythm. You wake up, check your phone, go to work, answer messages, finish tasks, wait for salary, pay bills, and then somehow, the month becomes short again. You tell yourself it is temporary, just until the next raise, just until the next promotion, just until life gets lighter. But the strange thing is, the better your salary gets, the harder it can be to leave. Your rent rises, your lifestyle rises, your comfort rises, and slowly, the stable job becomes less like a strategy and more like a padded room. Employment has a real trap. You trade your time for money at a rate someone else approves. Your effort matters, but it does not always convert directly into reward. You can work harder than everyone and still wait for a budget cycle, a manager's opinion, or office politics that nobody explains clearly. Very mysterious, very professional. You also help build someone else's asset, their customers, their brand, their systems, and at the end of the month, you receive income, but usually no ownership. Still, employment is not useless. A stable job can give structure, predictable income, skills, savings, and breathing room. The problem begins when we mistake predictability for permanence. A job feels safe because it is scheduled, but scheduled does not mean guaranteed. Then we look at self-employment. It looks like freedom from the outside. No boss, no office politics, no asking permission to take lunch. Beautiful. But then reality arrives wearing plain clothes. Income becomes uncertain. Some months feel amazing. Some months feel like your bank account is practicing meditation, empty and silent. In the first few years, many self-employed people work longer hours for less money. They become the salesperson, the marketer, the accountant, the customer service person, the delivery person, and the emotional support animal for their own business. They wanted freedom, but accidentally hired themselves into 7 jobs. This is why I'm slightly biased toward one path here. Not a permanent job, not blind loyalty, but using stable employment as a bridge. A job can be a tool while you build savings, test skills, and create optionality. It can protect your nervous system while you learn how independence actually works. Because self-employment without runway is not freedom. It is pressure with a logo. Psychologically, humans hate loss more than we like gain. That is loss aversion. Losing stable income feels more painful than gaining possible freedom feels exciting, so we stay. Status quo bias also keeps us inside familiar routines, because familiar stress feels safer than unfamiliar opportunity. But the opposite can happen too. Some people hate their jobs so much that self-employment becomes a fantasy escape. They are not choosing business. They are choosing not this. And not this is not a strategy. The real question is not, should I be employed or self-employed? The better question is, what sequence gives me the most control with the least unnecessary panic? Maybe that means staying employed while building a freelance skill after work. Maybe it means saving 6 to 12 months of expenses. Maybe it means finding one paying client before quitting. Maybe it means changing jobs first. Because the problem was not employment. It was one bad boss with calendar addiction. Both paths can delay life. Employees say, "Once I get promoted." Business owners say, "Once the business stabilizes." And life waits quietly in the corner, holding a small cup of cold coffee. So maybe the wise move is not to ask which identity sounds cooler: employee, founder, freelancer, entrepreneur. These are not identities. They are structures. They are containers. They are current strategies. A stable job can become a trap if you never build leverage. Self-employment can become a trap if you confuse chaos with freedom. The real freedom is not having no boss. The real freedom is having options. So before you jump, or before you stay forever, ask yourself quietly, do I have runway? Do I have a skill people already pay for? Does uncertainty energize me, or does it quietly drain me? Am I escaping a bad job, or am I actually ready to build a business? There is no perfect answer, but there is a calmer answer. Treat your current path as a season, not a sentence. Use the job if it helps you build options. Use self-employment if it gives you ownership without destroying your peace. And whatever you choose, do not let it become your whole personality. The trap is not always where you work. Sometimes, the trap is forgetting to ask why you are still there. Which path feels more aligned with how you think about life? Comment below. And as always, take your time. Life is already moving fast enough.